Oh man, you already know what it is. It's the one and only, the Big 7 Up. And today is episode 7 of the series Life After Prison. Today we're gonna be talking about finding your purpose after prison. Because just because you released from prison doesn't mean that you're free. You still got years of pain, suffering, PTSD, trauma, all kinds of things. Anxiety, depression, fear of the unknown, fear of the future. It's a lot of things that you got on your shoulders, and you have to be able to get over those things first before you can find your purpose out here in life. So I'm gonna show y'all how I did it, and I'm gonna share a few tips with y'all. So make sure you stay tuned. So as everybody know, my name is 7 Up, and I just came home from doing 13 years straight when I was 15 years old, y'all. And the transition of me coming home hasn't been easy. It's took me 3 years to finally get to this point where I'm at now, sharing my story, actually being able to feel comfortable enough to share my story with y'all. Finding what is most important in life and finding your passion. Because one thing that I realized when I came home from prison was everybody has their own routines. Everybody has their own lanes. Everybody already has kind of like a direction. But when you're coming home from prison, you don't really have a direction yet. And it's so many different directions that you can go, but you're not sure which one is best for you. You know that you want to have a healthy, successful life, but you just don't know where to start. And sometimes that can get frustrating and deterring sometimes from wanting to even get up in the morning to try. As someone who battles mental health, I know that the transition from prison to society isn't an easy one. Because I know for myself personally, when I came home from prison, it was still a lot of things that I hadn't gotten over yet. While I was in prison, my purpose on a day to day was surviving. So now when I come home as a grown man, I'm really in a place where I'm trying to find my purpose again. Because on a daily, like I said, my purpose was strictly surviving. And now I have a lot of responsibility. Now I have a lot of things to take care of, including myself. And that's not an easy task for anybody, especially if you're new to it. But beginning to find your purpose will eventually help you find your freedom in life. And that's what I had to realize was my freedom was intertwined with my purpose in life. Because I've been home 3 years now and I felt lost. I really didn't have a direction. I found myself trying to enter other people's directions. I found myself going down other people's lanes, trying to find myself and find my purpose in these different avenues and different lanes that were out here. But none of them I was passionate about. None of them were healthy for me. And none of them connected with my purpose. So I had to, of course, go back to the drawing board because nothing was as I expected it for it to be when I came home from prison. While I was away, I had made all these plans, these extravagant plans of what I wanted to do and who I was going to do it with and how I was going to do it. But the thing about those plans were nothing was as I had expected it to be when I was released from prison. So therefore, none of the plans that I had made were valid anymore. So that put me in a situation where now I have to reevaluate everything all over, and I felt like I had to do it very quickly. Yeah, I felt like I had to do it very quickly when I first came home because I felt like I had to keep up with everything and everybody. You know what I'm saying? Because it's easy to get lost in this stuff out here because you everything is internet, and when you look on the internet, especially when you follow certain people, you see all these glitz and this glam, and sometimes it's even with people that you was locked up with. I know that for myself, I would scroll on Instagram, or I would scroll on TikTok, or I would scroll on all these social platforms, and I would see guys that I was locked up with like not too long ago, and they out here. It looks like they having their way out here. Like they got all the money, all the girls, the cars, the clothes. Like it looks like they have it all put together. And sometimes when you seeing that stuff, it could put you in a mind frame where it kind of gets frustrating because you're like, what am I missing? What am I doing wrong where I'm not in that position? Sometimes it can get very, very frustrating and very deterring for somebody who you can have that stuff. You know you deserve it, and you know you can acquire it if they have it. But the thing about life is sometimes you don't need that stuff, and sometimes everything isn't what it seems. Everything isn't what it seems, especially on the internet, and I had to realize that. Because like I said, like the internet was not as popular as it is now. It wasn't as big before I got sent to prison. It was fairly new. This was in 2009. I mean, it wasn't fairly new, but it was not as big. It's just a lot that comes with the internet that if you're not careful, it can hurt you if you're not careful. It can hurt you. And it can be kind of like depressing in a way. Like not depressing, but kind of depressing in a way. So you have to be careful of what you consume on the internet, especially if you're just coming out of prison. Be mindful that a lot of things are just for the internet. Crazy. One of these people, I'm not gonna say their name, but a person who is very flashy on the internet, this, that, and the third. To everybody else, they seem like they have it all put together, but it's not as it seems in real life. You know what I'm saying? And I know that because I know this person. It's like you can't let the internet fool you. You can't let the social media trick you out your spot. You have to stay dedicated and focused on your passion, on your purpose. Once you find it, lock in and don't let anything or anybody come in between it. Because when you look on the internet or when you just look outside, you're gonna see people who are focused on them. That's what you're gonna see. You're gonna see a bunch of people who are, it looks like they're being selfish. They are. But in order for you to accomplish your goals and get to the place where you ultimately want to be in life, you have to be selfish. You know what I'm saying? You have to be selfish. And all of these things are new to me, and all of these things I'm learning. That's why this series is called Life After Prison, because I am relearning how to live in this world, in this day's society today, after doing time in prison. And this is a real reality for so many people. And I hope that you find value in these videos. And I'm glad that I can share my growth, my development with everybody. I have so many great things coming for us. So I hope that you are following me on all social platforms, because this is only one place where I'm active. I'm very active on Instagram. I'm very active with all of my followers. So if you decide to follow me, I will follow you back. Just hit me up in the DM and let me know where you came from, what video you watched. Make sure you like, share, and subscribe. And if you have any family members who was recently released from incarceration, make sure that you let them know about my YouTube channel. Share my videos with them. Or if you know anybody who may be on the verge of going down that wrong path, I also want you to share my content with them, because my content may deter them from actually going down that wrong road that they're finding themselves going on. Don't want anybody to see the inside of that prison. We don't ever want any of our youth to see the inside of the prison cell. We want to save the children, and we want to reach them before it gets too late. So make sure that y'all sharing these videos. I really appreciate all the love and support, all the comments I get. Thank you so much. And until next time, I pray that y'all have a great day and a great week. 7 up.